fellow gerbil owners and sports fans. Today, I, Marlo Heavens from the Gerbil Sports Daily, is going to be asking some of the deepest questions behind the famous Andre Reichelderfer.
Yes, it is a pleasure to be here today with you, Marlo.
One of those most asked questions is, what is the backstory between the magical and magnificent Andre Reichelderfer? Please share with us.
Well, thank you, Marlo. You know, I have a very checkered past. I come from an interesting background. My father was bivocational. His primary source of income is he was a researcher of human stool. We typically would spend our days going from NFL stadium to NFL stadium gathering samples of stool. We would use the material to help us better understand the average fan, and from the players' toilets we could learn much about how players could perform. It was very, very cutting edge material, and we would gather this from their toilets by hand.
That sounds very interesting. Did you have any other hobbies?
Well, my father's second profession, if we weren't gathering stool, I was helping him work at the nacho station. We ran a traveling truck, and we sold nachos with nacho cheese and jalapenos. Sometimes we would have sausage. Sometimes we would have chorizo. Really helped develop a love for nachos.
And the second most asked question, how did you meet your gerbil prognosticators?
Now that, that's an interesting question. It's highly provocative. Essentially, I was first introduced into the world of gerbils by my friend Dingleberry, whom many of you who have seen the fabulous fantasy football program. Dingleberry is a talent that we learn a lot from. Dingleberry, in his previous sources of income in the gerbil trade, learned that there was a network of gerbils living at NFL stadiums who could essentially be able to forecast what may or may not be happening during those days.
That is
Dingleberry was very closely linked to these gerbils, and through those relationships was able to figure out that these guys were excellent fantasy football prognosticators.
And was it from these very stadiums where you met the famous Peanut prognosticator?
Peanut the prognosticator was definitely one of the greatest gerbil prognosticators I've ever met. I remember the first time I met Peanut. I was a young football analyst, and I was somewhere, I believe, outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I saw this creature nibbling a piece of cheese, but it wasn't a piece of cheese actually, it was a foam thing from a cheesehead fan. And I chased him down because I was hungry and I thought I could roast him. I caught him, and he began to tell me that he knew who was going to throw for 452 yards, and he was correct. So when I listen to the gerbil and the gerbil tells me a correct thing, we think we got something going here. It spared his life.
That was very kind of you to listen to what the gerbil had to say.
Yes.
Could your father also communicate with gerbils?
No. My father was not a great communicator. The man could dig through a toilet and find all kinds of stool. He was talented. The man could also make a mean nacho bar. This is enough. It's painful thinking about my past.
One more question.
Last question, Marlo.
Did the man wash his hands before going back to the nacho bar?